Hi, everybody.
It's Friday once again, and it's Friday night.
Live.
Yes. And it's a big weekend
Yes, it
for
is.
someone here. Guess what tomorrow is? Carrie's birthday.
Ooh,
She's really getting old, I gotta tell you.
I am.
I'm bringing in the cane. We're gonna have a walker ready for you.
An old lady.
Yeah. Last year you were late. But yeah, you have some good plans this week.
Yeah, I do. I'm doing a lot of things with my friends and family.
The friends and family. Yeah, get used to this part of it because it's going to be, how do I say? It's going to be like as you get older, it gets like you start doing more and more boring stuff.
Oh no.
For your birthday. So enjoy it while you have it. Anybody who's like, you know, getting into their 20s and it's like as time goes through the 20s, like it's cute when you were like small at like 5, 6,
Yeah, there's
7, it was birthday parties and all that. Then, you know, it eventually turns to alcohol. And, you know, and then, you know, parties with friends, and then it slowly dies down into, oh God, it's my birthday again. Let's not do this.
Yeah, I know. You start not wanting your birthday, right?
Yes, it's like, well, I don't even remember my birthday anymore. I don't even know how old I am.
Fuck Elon.
Oh my God.
That was a hot mic moment. See,
That is funny. That is funny.
that is one of the that just happened on Fox News.
It is.
Yes, the other day with Laura Ingraham. We had a Laura Ingraham moment.
What happened with
She
that?
got hot mic. Somebody in the background said something.
Oh my God.
I don't know if it got picked up
I
though.
have to see that.
I don't know if it got picked up.
That was funny.
But it is, like I said again, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Everybody wish Carrie a happy birthday. Wish Carrie a happy birthday. But today's topic is an interesting one. So why don't you get into the details of what we're going to be talking about?
So we're going to be talking about the congestion prices that just started on January 5th.
Yes.
So we're just
And
gonna
what's the
talk-
prices like that? What's the prices so far? What do you have on the prices?
So I have at peak hours,
Peak, which is
5 a.m. to 9 p.m. on weekdays and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekends.
so basically you're living life. Okay. This always happens.
It does. It does.
It always happens.
And it's
And it's like, I
Fridays.
gotta put like a big notice like somewhere, like it's like
Yeah.
that during this time, 1 hour in a week.
Yeah.
That's all it is, 1 hour. But
Yeah, so it's $9 peak hours. Off peak hours, it's $2.25.
yes,
And for trucks, for small trucks, it's $14, and for large trucks, it's $21.60.
$21.60.
Yes.
Okay, all right, so $21.60 for congestion pricing. Now, if anybody's not from New York, which is that me?
That was your mic, yeah.
Carrie, grab my mic.
Okay.
This is because I'm wearing too big of a sweater. I'm sorry. She can bend it easier than I can. There you go. So you can hear me well. The whole entire back of the mic because of the fact that
It
don't
fell.
hold it like this. It fell. It fell somewhere in my shirt because I'm wearing a thicker sweater today and this is magnetic, so that's the one thing about magnetic mics. But we should talk like this, right?
Yeah. It
So-
still works.
It still works.
It's blue, so
It's
it's
blue.
lighting up, yeah.
So you have the idea. Right now, congestion pricing is basically for everybody that's really alive during regular normal hours. There may be a whole new nightlife scene happening in New York.
Yeah.
Where the rest of New York will just get up at 2 o'clock in the morning
Oh my God.
and live from 2 o'clock in the morning till something 9 a.m.
Yeah, 9 a.m. on weekends.
And what about during the week? 7?
5 a.m.
5. Oh, from 2 to 5, you could you could basically get around normally. So that's where we're at. But the interesting thing, we found some interesting thing, and I think a lot of the discussion is going to focus around like what it means for regular New Yorkers and where we may think, because I do think this impacts real estate. So we will talk about how some concerns have been raised specifically about real estate.
Yes.
And because we are real estate based, so it's important to put that into context, right? So what we have going on, Blush. It's all over today, right? It's just, maybe we should stop tomorrow. Dropping mics, she's sneezing.
I'm sorry.
Now I'm breaking into a call. We've been hexed.
I
think someone cursed us.
We had that.
No, I don't think it's you either. You got Dom back there. I don't think it's him. It's like, did someone like cast a spell before it came out? I'm waiting for the ceiling to come down. But not quite there. But let's get into it. Let's get into the details because we just talked about the pricing. So my thing, and I'm going to tell you what my opinion of this is, because it's these things are masked under words, and I hate to say this. I mean, I told you about my past. I worked in public relations a little bit, and how they do public relations is like congestion pricing. Like it has some like benefit, and people are going to say yes, it's easier to get around, but. Yeah. Usually the cities that are usually easiest to get around are usually the abandoned ones. Like if you go to upstate New York, it's great because you have no traffic whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know if that is the formula for success in congestion pricing. Yes, we get it. But, and I hate to say this, and I have some debates about this because I don't like one thing about like what's being spoken about. I hear people like, well, it makes everything. If you don't want big city life, get out of the city. Get out of the city. I don't like congestion. Nobody likes congestion, but we make choices and it can't be, and unfortunately cities are ecosystems. And government isn't good at managing ecosystems. We've seen that in Florida and California. So when it comes to managing ecosystems, I really think there's a problem with the idea that congestion pricing is really there to solve the congestion as much as it is to solve budgetary requirements. And I think that's where I have the biggest issue right now. It's out of control. Like I do think that we have the speed cameras. How many speed cameras do you estimate like you get?
Do I get?
Do you get any?
No, because I know where they are now.
But like if you said in the last year, how many do you think you had?
I don't know, maybe about 5.
Okay, so I average about 3 a month.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I average 3 a month, so it's definitely the
3 a month.
But. Because we're in real estate, You don't get the luxury of sitting in the office all day, Carrie. Except when you're doing a home tour.
Yeah.
So, I'm just kidding. But the big thing is that when it comes to congestion pricing, and guys, you can leave your feelings about whether you feel about this or not. We always see, and obviously we're working on 2 sets. We're working on obviously the Facebook to the left and to the right is TikTok. But the big thing is, like I said, when it comes to congestion pricing, there are some big concerns, and I think the one of them is it could move further, right?
Yes, it could.
It could. We know where we have the next. Don't think that this is the only, it's going to be left to New York City. I am telling you now, this is not the case, and I want you to. It's got to be on your radar. If you didn't notice about cameras. About speeding cameras, it started with the school thing. Now it's an all-day thing, so they were shut off on the weekends and after like 10 o'clock at night. And now it's all day long, 24/7. This opens up Pandora's box. And I'm going to tell you, I just know for a fact that like something like if you're living like where we are, and like you say Highland Boulevard, you're going to see boulevards and regular streets, I believe, are going to have, like if you're going to use a specific street, you're going to be hit with a toll for using specific streets in every neighborhood.
So you think it's going to come to Staten Island?
I do think I think the precedence is that once it's getting, it's Pandora's box. Once you accept it in one place, then and like under the same guy, oh well, there's less traffic and there's less traffic. I understand that, guys, and this is not an issue to solve that everybody should be using mass transit. If you know, unfortunately, the real reason why a lot of this congestion price is necessary because the MTA keeps getting underfunded. Because I'm going to tell you right off the bat, it's likely to be more mismanaged than anything else, so they don't know how to keep funding in place. I looked at the budget data for the MTA. Metropolitan, yes, MTA, and the amounts of money that they're spending every year exceeds the rate of inflation by a factor of 2. So, like, it's literally like they're saying inflation's 3%. The average budget is moving at about 10 to 15% higher every year, and there's no control. And it's like, well, now we're going to go to the next thing, which is going to be congestion pricing, and eventually that's generating $266,000 an hour.
Wow, and it just started? Like this is from it?
This is just from the latest data, $266,000 an hour on congestion pricing. Now, it's like, okay, and now it's going to be put into the budget, and of course nobody keeps track of budget, so they're obviously going to run into another budget shortfall in a couple of years, and what's going to happen? It's likely to wind up in every neighborhood. And I think like it's really time to start thinking about like what this is going to do to impact the squeeze. I mean, so I think you had a question about real estate, right?
Yeah, how do you think this will impact real estate?
Well, I mean, I think there's two things that impact real estate. A is cost. What we talk about is like, okay, when you live in a place, you're commuting back and forth to a place. So what happens, what you're looking for is like, okay, I need to go to work every day. And now my work cost is going to be increased by a factor of, another 3-4% on top of like your regular expenses of just having to get them back and forth to work, whether it's tolls or whether it's mass transit, where you could save there. I understand that, but just because congestion pricing is there, same thing that's happened with tolls, with prices of mass transit, they keep going up. So what's likely to happen is that I do think and there's people who are praising this. I know the early signs is this is great. You hear like all these positive stories. You heard the pros. What were the pros?
Well, some of them are traffic reduction, improved travel time, and public transit gains.
Right. So they figure that more people will use the subway, right?
Yeah.
And then we were off camera before, and I said, "Why don't you use the subway? Because you don't feel safe."
Yeah.
And these things are a combination, and that's the mixed bag that we're getting here. It's like, how much more, you're going to put all these people and put them into subways, and they're going to travel by subway, and that's going to be the thing to increase fares. Because one of the things that they did find after COVID was a lot of people felt less safe. That unsafe feeling about using mass transit has led to actually more cars coming into the city. Because people aren't comfortable with the results of having to commute in a situation that they feel uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
So as time has moved on, I do think that ridership is down. And I think some numbers suggested it was down. And I think it had more to do with safety concerns than any other reason. Plus, I do think that remote work has taken hold quite a bit. But what does it mean for real estate? Real estate is that people are going to go where they can most afford to live. Most afford to live. So my thing is, you okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm being
She's fidgeting.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm stopping.
It's okay.
I'm gonna go out now.
She's got to get the fidget out. She'll have coffee after this
Yeah.
to get even less fidgety. But the big thing is that what I'm saying right now is people, it's going to hurt business, I think, large businesses and small, because one is that people, they want to reduce their costs. So, and there's a big waging war between New Jersey and New York about how this is going to look.
Yeah.
But I really do think that at a certain point, it's going to impact like commercial office space. Your employees don't want to be paying and want to be paying these kinds of numbers to get to work every day and be inconvenienced and have all these things in front of them. And I think at this point, like, it's really like, where do you go from here? If employees don't want to really entertain work, they're going to go to cities that are much more friendly to commuters as far as just cost. And it's just, it becomes down to cost. And it's going to be like, do we do it? Do we not do it? So the migration that's happening out of New York, which is something that it's actually migrated to Staten Island. We've actually increased our population here. Other parts of the city have it. I wonder why that is, but the biggest thing is that people are looking for suburban life, and I do think that maybe some of this is going to lead to further migration away from moving to the city because costs are going to be too egregious, and that's going to. I mean, that's my prediction. My prediction of what this all is that, like all things that are kind of done without, and I understand their need. They need to find revenue. These cities is really the pressing thing here. The problem is that it's a tax at the end of the day, and if you're taxing your citizens, after a while, they're just going to find other places because it just becomes too egregiously costly. And especially people like just starting out in New York City. I mean, it's not like your living expenses are high. Travel expenses are even higher now. And I'm not saying that they can't use mass transit, but to a certain degree is like, at some point, moving around the city through congestion pricing, even if it's for like Uber, you're still going to be paying a premium.
Yeah.
You're going to pay the premium on truck deliveries, so food's going to go up. Someone's going to pay the price and it's going to go back to the consumer. So like you're going to pay more there. So prices for trucks coming into the city is up around $21. Just in and out. Where do they think the money comes from?
Yeah.
How much more do you think you're going to pay into a system which is the MTA, which has failed to be budget conscious about how to manage their budget? And that's really at the end. I don't care what they're calling this. This is congestion pricing. It's reducing traffic and emissions. This is all done. I don't care. This is not. And people will say it's political. It's not. I've been in that world and I know the difference between the two. This is bundled up with the idea of saving somebody give them the idea, it's the carbon footprint and all this nonsense. You're reducing emissions. Yes, I mean, there's no doubt about it, you're reducing emissions. But the thing is, in reducing emissions, you're also reducing business activity. You're really seeking to get money from, you're going to wind up losing that too. So this is just, it's public relations 101, tie it under a different blanket and say, we're solving the issue of moving around Manhattan. And a lot of people say that it's a rich person's problem. I don't know. That's the UFC fight tomorrow. So I don't know. I just think at the end of the day, what's going to happen? Do you really want to pay more?
No.
So you're going into the city tonight?
Tomorrow I will be.
Okay, so you'll be the first office victim of congestion pricing. You're driving in though, right?
Oh no, we're gonna take the bus.
Oh! She's gonna take the bus.
Yes.
And you're gonna take the bus back?
We might Uber back. We're gonna
see
how
so you'll
we
still
feel.
be a victim somehow.
But it's definitely gonna be past 9 p.m. though, so.
I still think you're gonna get surcharged.
You think? Even
Yeah,
if it's
I
after
do.
9?
Because the Uber driver is going to be operating in the area, so he's going to have to get through the toll somewhere to get to you, or maybe not. You let me know on Monday if that's the case. But like I said, I do think what you're going to see is two factors that I want you guys got to pay attention, because I hate to say this, this idea was floated almost 15 years ago.
Well.
Don't yawn just yet. 15 years ago. What's your opinion on congestion pricing? Does anybody think it's a good idea? Is there any good idea? You said it did reduce commute times.
Yeah. So
do you have specifics on how much it's reduced?
So it said traffic reduction is at a 7.5 decrease.
Percent, yeah.
And improved time travels. River crossings such as tunnels and bridges between Manhattan and New Jersey are 30 to 40% faster. And cross-town trips in Manhattan are 20 to 30% faster.
Right, there you go. Well, you're going to be able to move around faster. So I'm not going to disagree with that. You are. I just don't think that at the end of the day, moving faster in a city that never sleeps. Well, now it's definitely in a city that never sleeps if they want to beat this hole, right?
Yeah.
You're going to see congestion pricing really starting to take. It's going to take shape. I think the first. The good reports are out there. Look, everybody's going to say it's great moving around the city. It's great moving around the city. That's the first. It is way too soon to make an assumption that this.
Yeah.
And I've seen that already. It's raving reviews. It's great moving around the city. Let's see. Let's let the data come in. Maybe I will be wrong. Maybe, but the initial impact is we just, before it came on, I just wanted to see Broadway shows.
Yeah.
The ones that were selling out aren't selling out now.
Wow.
So the Broadway shows, people don't want to spend money to travel around. They don't want the extra $9. Not to say they're going to probably pay for parking anyway, but parking garages. I think, from overall, I think it's going to just...
Everything, yeah.
But I think the big thing as far as real estate's concerned, I do think that commercial real estate, because there's no traffic moving through these neighborhoods, it's going to hurt. There's going to be pain for a few things. And I think, your coffee is going to be up another 30 cents. Everything you're going to do is just going to cost more money. Yeah. You're going to be passed along. And if they don't, it's going to wind up being put on to the business not existing period. So I think if and I think the lines are starting to be drawn. I think we need to wait until the spring, wait to see what tax revenues look like. And it'd probably it'd take about a good 2 years to really get the full impact of if this is working or not. But what I really why we're actually doing this, because it should be on your radar. I've seen and I've heard some reports that this suburban corridor type of congestion pricing is being floated around. That if this program has success and has a degree of success and they see revenues, that doesn't mean that business revenues are going to go up. They don't really care about that. They don't care. They're going to look at how that is helping the city's revenue. And if there's a degree of success there, it'll be coming to a neighborhood likely by you. And it'll probably be left to the most busiest streets at first. And besides your regular, which you could tell around Staten Island anyway, there's signs all around these things. Like people are so fed up with them.
Yeah, they are.
You'll see wanting camera up in front.
Well, yeah. Recently this week, someone's been putting those flowers in
front of the
camera.
That's right. It was done. Yeah, that was the thing. So there's a backlash to this, and I don't know. It's become extremely costly to be, and I think, and it all comes down to, I think it's time for maybe a Doge New York version. I could get hit for saying that, but not from you, but it does. There needs to be some efficiency built in. This is not, these budget shortfalls being handled this way, without finding efficiency in the system, is one that is going to wind up costing the city dearly. I think in the long run, and you could disagree with that. That's fine. I usually base it on a good deal of experience of dealing with these type of situations when, specifically when taxes get too high. I mean, and I hate to say that's why the migration from New York, from specifically Staten Island to New Jersey, is that the property taxes used to be considered egregious in New Jersey. Well, as the paw for taxes on real estate here have grown, the effort to leave here has increased as well.
Yeah.
So meaning people are more willing, because the tax is being at a certain level, like it's starting to level up, because one of the things is, it's like, well, if I have to buy a house here, and you know, maybe they feel the public schools in New Jersey are considerably better, the public school system anyway, largely, you know, not all, but largely, you know, a lot of these suburban communities are better. So people will feel like the offset of having to send my kids to private school, where I can send my kids to public school in the suburban community, is becoming less and less. So they're factoring into the taxes, and they're leaving at increasing rates. That's not to say that Staten Island's decreasing in size; it's actually increasing in size. But I mean, like I said, more and more, you know, more and more people are migrating into Staten Island, but they're also migrating out of Staten Island quicker than at any point in the past. I did see some data on this. It's one of the fastest migrations, like, out of Staten Island in quite some time, especially post-pandemic. But we also had quite a considerable amount of migration in. We've kind of beat the curve on that. Some other places have not. They're not winning that battle. The migration is out, but it's like, if it slows down on the, you know, increase in people purchasing in Staten Island, we still have people who are more inclined to leave. But costs are going to be a factor. But my big takeaway on this, so let's get to the big takeaway, is Carrie says she's going to leave New York if it comes to Staten Island.
Yes.
She already texted her parents that she says we're leaving New York.
I did. I said we have to move.
If Highland Boulevard gets congestion pricing,
Oh my God.
we're going to have, I think...
Yeah, because then all the side streets are going to be super...
Yeah, like I said, that's where I do see it. If there's a positive revenue growth, just so you know, there's $266 million an hour. 266.
Million.
Oh, thousand. 266. No, 266,000. $266,000 an hour on New York City streets from congestion pricing. So it's a boom. Like, look, that's a good business.
Yeah, but...
And that may be the single greatest toll yet. Like, if you combine like all the bridges into one location, you're talking about a considerable amount of cars on all those streets. It'll be a boom for the city coffers for sure. The question is, I don't think it ends there. I think it's a pilot. If that pilot works, it'll be throughout the city, just like cameras were supposed to be for one thing. Once the money starts pouring in, it becomes a good idea throughout. And you guys better pay attention to this, because when the president has weighed in on this, the new incoming president, Trump, has said that he's going to try to challenge this constitutionally. So there is some movement on all this, on all these fronts. But I do think there was a question. I don't know.
On Facebook?
No, that's not. I'm sorry. But I want to know, like, for the future, what everybody would think if we basically saw congestion pricing coming to local streets. It's something you guys need to think about, and it has to be on your radar, because I do think it's overall going to impact migration into Staten Island. And out of Staten Island and into New York City and out of New York City. So if it's going to cost too much, guess what, guys? I'm just admiring you.
What? My orange hands?
They're not quite orange.
They're bad.
I don't know how you get tan on the palm of your hand. That's like the...
It does look bad. But no one's looking.
But anyway, that's what we have for tonight, guys. If you have a question, something you'd like to cover, we'd be more than happy to do it.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for joining. Happy birthday, Carrie, again.
Thank you.
We won't say how old she is. She's afraid to admit her age now.
Yeah.
She's at the point, she says that she no longer could tell anybody her age. She feels like she crossed an important threshold. Anybody want to take guesses? You want to give them like an under or over
Oh my God.
to see like what they would say?
Yeah.
How old is Kerry turning on Saturday? Anybody want to take a guess?
I'm scared.
No, we don't. Nobody's taking a guess right now. But anyway, happy birthday, Kerry.
Thank you.
And we will see you. It'll be a little bit before our next live, and this week was like a live fest, and then it'll probably be yeah. Maybe next week we'll bring somebody else from the staff or team on,
Yeah.
and they could weigh in on a topic or two. I know that Vic has been clamoring to get on. And I've been delayed. But anyway, that's what we have. Congestion pricing, guys. Make sure, keep an eye out. It doesn't affect your vision to see that it doesn't happen in your neighborhood. Because I think if they find out this works too good, it'll be coming to a neighborhood near you. So pay attention. Have a great night, guys. Great weekend.
Good night.
And enjoy the snow Sunday.
Yes. Can't wait. Good night.